Hello YouTube, Jumpy23 here, welcome back to my FE8 0% LTC, and today we have Chapter 10. Chapter 10 is a bit of a breather map compared to Chapter 9. It's a short and simple defend/kill boss, i.e. kill boss objective, but Insys did a decent job spreading side objectives around an otherwise boring defend here. Most notably, we want Forde to visit the Hero Crest village on turn 3, which is exactly 24 squares away from the closest starting position, so he'll have to full move every turn. We also want to pick up the Lance Reaver and the Horse Slayer, which are dropped by enemies. Tana needs to recruit Cormag here, and her survivability is best with a Slim Lance that doesn't take her Avoid, but we gave her an Iron Lance so she can actually damage Wyverns. This is important for her XP. The next really hard map is Chapter 13, and it's time to start thinking about it. I'll be stealing Kiwi's strat almost entirely, which means I need an 8-use Steel Axe, a 5-use Steel Lance, and a 1-use Hand Axe at the start of the map, none of which I am even close to having currently. It's about time to start thinking about the Steel Lance here. To this end, Seth took the most damaged Steel Lance, which was in Franz's inventory. The idea on this map is that Tana recruits Cormag, Cormag drops Ephraim by the boss, and Ephraim rigs a Regan Leaf crit on turn 3 to end the map. This strat was used in Graded Styx LTC, but it was a strat originally demonstrated by me a few years ago, so I'm taking credit for it. It occupies both of our flyers, which unfortunately means we can't get the secret book in this chapter. That would have been great for Cormag's reliability, but the rest of our units beside our flyers are free for side objectives. Forde equips a Steel Sword instead of a Steel Lance to intentionally not kill these soldiers for an AI manip. It also reduces his Avoid, which is also good, as I'll explain later. We need to rescue drop Natasha one tile closer so that she can get a Minden on turn 2. Moulder and Garcia do that. Forde getting hit twice here is good. He needs to be at low HP to bait a fighter into attacking him on enemy phase 2 instead of attacking a green cavalier, so that he isn't blocked toward the Hero Crest village. The soldiers surviving is also good, because it makes the mercenaries up top not move in and replace them. It would be a lot harder to clear out a mercenary than a 1 HP soldier, so our paladins are able to full move a lot easier if we leave the soldiers alive. Tana faces a chance of death standing here because of this siege weapon boat, but I put her there on purpose anyway so she could get more combat XP from the Wyvern that's still at the bottom. This ended up being unnecessary because she had about 40 XP to spare at the end of Chapter 16, but whatever. Cormag equips a Javelin so that the Shaman will not target him. Otherwise, he would block the way for what Cormag and Tana need to do on turn 3. Lute and Garcia use their 2-range chip, the best in my army right now among people who don't matter, to clear out the soldiers that were at 1 HP so that Joshua and Kyle can team up to kill a fighter. Kyle intentionally gets hit with a Slim Lance here to give Natasha one more heal. That's what Moulder was rigging. It's great that Seth can kill this Myrmidon with a silver sword even without an energy ring. Otherwise I'd have to rig a killing edge crit. If I remember correctly, this comes down to enemy stat rolls. Joshua, Ephraim, and Tana all face chance of death on enemy phase 2, but none of them face a very high one. I don't know exactly what they are. I didn't bother to calc it because it was super easy to rig, so I didn't get frustrated and say what the hell is the chance here actually. We get 2 new units on this map, and it's been hard to find time to talk about them because there's so much to say, but I really need to talk about these guys because they are big units. Duessel has the best combat for the rest of the entire game. He's the only unit who can survive full mortise with no boosters, and with Garm he has 17 AS, which is tied for the best, and 37 attack, which is totally unparalleled. I love this man. His only flaw is that he's really fat and slow with 6 move and 15 con, so he's hard to move around the map. It's fortunate that it's the Steel Axe fighter of the fighter bunch who attacks Forde there, and not any of the other fighters who can handle their weapon's weight. Cormag marries good enough combat with the best movement in the entire game. He's our first 8-move flyer and will also eventually get the boots. Duessel has a bigger number in literally every combat stat, but I can compensate for that in 2 ways. Giving Cormag nearly every stat booster in the game and, when necessary, rigging Pierce. Pierce is a dumb skill that sets enemy defense to 0 for the attack, and I will need to use it a few times during the playthrough. It's fortunate that Ephraim is on a forest because his chance of death is actually like at least appreciable because the boss doubles him. So Seth kills the Horse Slayer Cavalier with the damaged Steel Lance and then Convoy warps it. That's a surprise tool that will help us later. And Garcia and Lute each do their last combat of the game on this turn. So everybody wave goodbye. Now I risk death with Joshua for almost literally no reason. I guess he gets a bit more weapon EXP here, but it doesn't end up mattering. It opens the way to the Torch Staff village, but I don't use or sell this Torch Staff ever. So why did I do this? Now Vanessa is able to take the Steel Lance that Seth had convoy warped. She can't do anything with it from her position, but Tana can. She perfectly kills this mercenary with the Steel Lance, which A, wears it down, and B, opens the way for Ephraim to fight the boss. The Cavalier near the boss is holding a droppable killing edge. Cormag can't even one-shot him with the Horse Slayer, because the Horse Slayer has a dogshit 7 might in this game. Instead I rig a Killer Lance crit to grab the killing edge that I never even once end up using. The good news is that this coincidentally also rigs the earliest Regenleaf crit, completing chapter 10 in 3 turns. This is one of the 3 boss kills which is not taken by either Seth or Cormag. The first was Joshua in chapter 7. Feel free to guess at the third in the comments. We get a Night Crest for saving all Duessel's dudes that we'll never use, and thank you for watching.